Hello, good afternoon. Hello, good afternoon. POS 2041. All right. POS 2041, American Federal Government. Hope you can all hear me. Setting up now. Let me see. Oh, let's see. All right. All right. All right. POS 2041. I guess no one's here yet. Let me know if you're in. Say hello in the chat, please. I'd greatly appreciate it. Thank you. Hi, Joanna. Good to see you. No, get away.
Do you make your own YouTube channel?
Yes. Anyone else out there? Wait, let me. All right. I guess it's still early, huh? Anyone else out there? Oh, hi, Danielle. How are you? I miss you guys. Huh. Here we are. Thank you, Cindy. Hello. Well, I guess I don't have to respond for chats. You can ask and I can just answer back. I'm doing good. Obviously, I'm sure. I hope you're all doing well. Obviously, with everything that's going on with this whole COVID-19 pandemic, obviously all of our worlds have been turned upside down, and here we are meeting online. But before I continue, I want to thank everyone for handing in their second exam projects. The second paper is due today. That hasn't changed. Please email it to me. For whatever reason, I'm having issues with Blackboard, so I apologize for the inconvenience. However, with that being said, I hope that you do appreciate that not only do I email you with a response, but I'm also emailing you insofar as how you're doing throughout the course so far with your as far as your grades are concerned. So appreciate your patience in that, and thank you so much. Huh, like Valerie Plame. Huh. That's awesome. Actually, I'm gonna switch around. Hold on a second. I just can do it. Here, I'll just do it. For the final exam, correct? The third exam, the open lecture. I posted 4 questions yesterday. I sent them both to your emails, and I also posted on Blackboard. And yes, the responses. The project is due by Monday, April 20th. Yes, I know, 420. Yeah, but yeah, it's due on that date. Yes, I do miss the political stories as well. Yeah. Well, we can share some right now actually when we do this this wouldn't take too long. This may last maybe 30-40 minutes tops, you know. So, but I appreciate for you coming online. Anyone else out there? Hi Nicholas, hi Julio. Hello gentlemen. Welcome. Good to see you. Well, I can't see you, but at least I hope you're glad to see me. Thank you. Leonardo, thank you. Hello. You know, if you have any questions or concerns, you can put it on the chat, or you can email me, or you can text me. You'll have my my cell phone number as well. So you're always you're always at liberty to send me a text, or you can send me a message through the live chat. Lucas, you want to say hello?
Hello.
Oh, wait, come here, come here. Here's my younger son, Lucas. Say hello.
Hello.
Hello. Okay. All right, you can go now. All right, that was my 9-year-old. He just wanted to say hello. Hi, Lucas. They're saying hi, Lucas.
Hi.
Hi. Yeah. Y'all see me well? Is everything good? Hi. 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 Say hi one more time. Here, before you go inside.
Hi.
No, here, come here. Sit over here. Say hello.
Hello.
Say hi, Lucas.
Hi, Nitis.
All right. All right.
All right.
All right, you can go. Hi. All right, everything's good. All right, thank you. And I hope you're all doing safe and sound. I miss you guys. Obviously, this is not the same. Hmm. Wait, hold on. Let me change where it's like less sun. Hold on a second. 'Cause I'm outside actually, and the reason for me being outside is because inside it gets a little crazy with my missus and my 2 boys and what have you. So let me walk over here. Hold on. Uh, there you go. Yeah. Give me 1 minute. Okay. There you go. Is this better? No, right? Can we have a drink while in class? Hey, I won't stop you. Whatever vice you have, hey, you're not in class, so what can I say? Hi, Stephanie. Hey, wait a minute. Let me check something. Great Scott. Let me check. Hi, Stephanie. Hey, listen. Did you get my email? I never got your second exam project. If you can please forward it to me ASAP, please. Oh. Say something. Hi, Stephanie. Please forward me second exam project ASAP. Por favor. All right. Por favor, please. All right. There you go. Wait, let me change this again. Hold on a second. Is that better? Better lighting, maybe? Yeah. All right, let's go. Hi, Liana. How are you? All right, Melissa. Hello. Who is XJX? Wow, that sounds like a porn star's name. All right. As far as attendance, they haven't really said anything as far as attendance because obviously we're meeting online and what have you. So it's not the same as far as meeting in a classroom whereby I have to take attendance. So attendance will not be taken at this time. Oh, Jasa, hey, good to see you. Thank you. Thank you. And I want to make sure that everyone has turned in their second exam project essay that was due on April 1st, last Wednesday. And then, of course, today you'll have until midnight tonight to turn in your second paper. All right. We're just going to wait about 5 more minutes before we begin. It looks like I have, I believe, 13 souls. Let me see. All right. And how everyone else is doing? Everyone's doing okay? I want to make sure that everybody is safe and sound. All right. I signed in my first, also my essay was turned in my emails. I found, yes, please. Apparently I'm having issues with Blackboard, so please, as far as your papers or if you still haven't completed the second exam, please email it to me. Obviously you have my email. And of course what I then do is I will grade it, and not only will I give you the grade for that project, but I will also give you your overall grade. I'll give you your status report insofar as how you're doing for the class thus far. All right. All right. We'll begin in a few moments, a few minutes. All right. Hi, Professor. Okay, very good. Yeah, I haven't shaved in a while. Sorry, guys. I've been working. This is my third week working from home now. As far as State Farm, I've been working from home now. This is my third week working from home. And of course, obviously with Miami-Dade, I've been doing the same thing. As a matter of fact, this is the first time ever that I'm doing something like this, doing a live stream. So please be patient with me. I appreciate your patience. This is something brand new for me. As a matter of fact, I haven't even told my Wednesday class about this yet, only because I wasn't sure how this was going to work out. So at least even if we only have this interaction for at least half an hour, 45 minutes, at least it gives us some sort of class discussion. Remember that I would always email you the lecture notes, and then we would always have a lecture, a debate on anything. So, so I hope you appreciate this gathering. All right, so I'm just gonna wait for a few. I'm gonna wait for another. I'm just gonna wait till 5:50. I'm gonna wait about 5 more minutes because I'm sure that some people are signing in or what have you. If, by the way, if you're wondering, the reason why I haven't done like Zoom or anything like that is only because There are, obviously not everyone has a laptop with a camera or what have you. Not everybody has, good Wi-Fi, broadband connection at home. I can't, if one person doesn't have it, then that really, I have to be fair to everyone. So I figure that since everyone can get access to YouTube, I figured this would be the best way of having some sort of interaction insofar as the class is concerned. This class session. All right, Julio, thank you. Thank you for your compliment. Some social interaction is great. Absolutely. All right. Let's see what else. All right, good to see. There's quite a few in here. All right, so there's 16 people in here. That's awesome. All right. All right. And I hope you're having I hope you're having good success with your other courses as well. Hopefully that's working in your favor. All right. All right, let's see. Hold on. Alright, fine. I just want to confirm, did everyone receive my email, my message from Blackboard yesterday as far as the final topics that for the final third exam essay open lecture project that's due in 2 weeks? It's due on April 20th. Did everyone get that? Okay. Yes, 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 yes. Yes. All right. I want to make sure, like I said, I want to really make sure you get the topics. As a matter of fact, ironically enough, as soon as I provided those topics yesterday, I already had one particular student from my Wednesday class. He turned it in this morning already. As a matter of fact, yes, it's due April 20th. But if you want to get working on it and you want to hand it in sooner, by all means. I mean, April 20th is the deadline, but you can always hand it in sooner. Yes, 420. Yes, I know. All right, awesome. All right, so it looks like everybody's been getting it. All right. Hello once again. It's good to see you all again. Unfortunately, given the circumstances that we have currently in this world, that's why we're having this class. So let's just be brief. Thank you for your patience. It's good to see you all again. I wish I could see you all too. But thank you so much. All right, so let's just get started. I'm just going to get it over with right away. So yesterday, not only did I send you the topics, I also even send you the lecture notes like the way I used to do it. I sent you lecture notes yesterday on the differences between civil rights and civil liberties. And then I also sent you some emails about Congress. So let's just touch upon that right away. All right, so as a matter of fact, hint, hint, but of course it's obvious, one of the test questions was involving what's the difference between civil liberties and civil rights and civil liberties. Civil liberties, once again, those are basically rights that you are basically born with. They're inalienable, something that cannot be taken away from you. That is what is considered a civil liberty. And then as far as a civil right is concerned, a civil right is determined basically, hold on, I'm just getting a message here, forgive me. A civil right is basically a basic right that, that you have a civil right. Basically, it means that you are protected because of your status. In other words, if you're a female, if you're elderly, if you're gay, if you're what have you, those are certain rights that are protected despite that. So as a matter of fact, if you were to look up your notes regarding civil rights and civil liberties, all right, civil liberties are concerning basic rights and freedoms that are guaranteed, like I said, and the lecture notes that I emailed yesterday. And by the way, not only are those notes where they emailed to you, but they're also in Blackboard, just in case. Or I don't know if they are in Blackboard, but if there's not, I emailed it to you regardless. And of course, civil liberties, inalienable rights, that is defined as freedom of speech, privacy, right to be free from unreasonable searches, right to a fair trial, right to marry, and right to vote. So in other words, those are inalienable rights. Those are rights that cannot be taken away from you. As far as civil rights are concerned, Civil rights are basically the legal area known as civil rights has been traditionally revolved around the basic right to be free from unequal treatment, such as race, gender, disability, etc. And as a matter of fact, one of your test questions is to provide me a one-paragraph example of a civil right. In other words, you can write hint something about race or ethnicity as an example of a civil right, and then a civil liberty hint one paragraph for that would include something about writing about um, freedom of speech, freedom to assemble, the right to life, for example. That's just an example. So if you can just write one paragraph of each of, give me one paragraph example of a civil right and one paragraph example of a civil liberty, and that should be a very easy question to address. Any questions or concerns thus far as the four topics or civil rights and civil liberties are concerned? If you have questions, you can either post them on the live chat, or I can, or you can email me separately. All right. So we'll continue. Now, I also provided you, as far as now, that's just civil rights and civil liberties. That was very short and sweet. The next thing that we're going to tackle right now is regarding Congress. Um, See, this is where I wish, this is the real part that I missed teaching this class, because this is where we would get into an actual conversation. So obviously the founding fathers, they purposely divided and subdivided government in such a way that there won't be any power concentrated in one particular area. And as a matter of fact, they even went so far, so much that when they developed Congress, they just didn't create Congress as one body, but they created it as two bodies, the Senate and the House. The reason for that being is that if you looked at your lecture notes, basically what transpired was that the founding fathers didn't have complete faith in the masses at the time to make decisions for the country. You have to remember that back in the 1790s, the United States was still an agrarian society. It was mostly a farming a community. Most folks that lived during that era had maybe second to fourth grade level education. So of course the founding fathers, as much as they believed in democracy, they weren't always keen on it, only because they were fearful of mob rule, which also explains the reason why the Electoral College was created later on, which you obviously covered that. We covered that in the last exam. So with that being said, the House was divided in the Congress was divided into the House and the Senate. So that was basically the reason. The House was going to be more geared towards the masses, and the Senate was going to be geared more towards the intellectuals. As a matter of fact, the way it used to be, it was that the House was directly voted by the people, and the Senate was pretty much voted by whichever political party was in power in that state capital, and they would determine who were going to be the senators. But obviously, that was all changed with the 17th Amendment, when, of course, the senators were going to be voted by us, the voters. All right. So with that being said, I also then provided you with the 17 powers of Congress. Now, under normal circumstances, the 17 powers of Congress would have been an exam question. You would have to list 1 through 17. But of course, given that we are no longer meeting in person or what have you, we have this open format. Eliani, yes, there's only going to be 4 questions. Well, if you want more, I can give you more. I mean, is it too short? I mean, I kind of feel bad because yesterday, like I said, I gave out the topics, and this morning a student already gave me all 4 answers already. Maybe it's too easy. Should I make it bigger? Should I include it? No. Why not? No. Does anyone else agree with you, or is 4 fine? I don't know, because one thing I didn't add was anything about American foreign policy. I can add that too if you wish. No worries. No, now you're good. Oh wow. Okay, 4. Okay, I figured. Okay, 4 is fine. 4 is fine. Don't worry about it. Listen, we're going through a lot. I try to concentrate on just 4, make it myself easier for you, easier for me. But yeah, the deadline is April 20th, but if you want to hand it in sooner, you're more than welcome to hand it in, please. So no worries. So we'll stay with 4. No worry about it. 4 is fine. Let me see. So wait, so it's just the final exam, no essay? Yeah. No essay. Yeah, there's no essay. What, you want another essay? You already had 3 essays. You want more? I can give you more. Yeah, no, I can give you an essay about the pandemic and COVID-19 and our government response. Yes? Yay, thanks. Nah? Wait. Leon, does that mean yes that you want a fourth paper? Fourth paper? No? Nah? Wait, I'm confused. Woo woo. Chill. No. Oh, okay. No. Okay. So you're fine with 4 questions, right? And no more papers. Is that cool? Yes? Stop it. Okay. Okay, no worries. Listen, no more papers and only 4 questions on your final exam. Fair enough? Fair enough? Yes, no papers. Yeah, no worries, no worries. That's it. You did good. But remember, the paper is due tonight. So if you haven't emailed me yet, please do so by before midnight tonight. All right? Now, I want to help you with one of the 4 questions that I gave you. I mean, I'm not going to go over all 17 powers of Congress. You can look through that yourself at this point. But the one thing that you ought to focus when you write about the question regarding the Obamacare, the Supreme Court decision, is that hint, hint. Just to give you some feedback, when when Obamacare was passed back in 2010, or let's call it the Affordable Care Act, just remember that it was passed without one single Republican vote. No Republican member in the House nor the Senate voted. Yet because the Democrats dominated both the House and the Senate in 2009, 2010, they obviously passed without one single Republican vote. They were able to pass Obamacare. So what happened was that after Obamacare was passed, you had 21 Republican governors, including ex-governor Rick Scott. I like to call him Lex Luthor because he looks like it. I mean, tell me about it. I mean, if he was out of politics and he could enter Hollywood, wouldn't he be a great Lex Luthor? I mean, he has the look. I mean, not to criticize or or say good things about him, but just physically, he would be an awesome Lex Luthor. Anyway, with that being said, what happened was that the Republican governors, 21 of them, they filed a lawsuit against President Obama, the Obama administration, stating that the government had no right in forcing people to buy insurance. Remember that in order for the Affordable Care Act to work, what they needed to do was that they needed to force everybody to buy insurance. Now, if you understand how risk and insurance works, you have to remember the following. If, for example, if you try to buy life insurance by yourself, okay, it's going to be more expensive than if you were to get life insurance through your job. And the reason for that being is that if you're getting life insurance through your job, if you're working whether with 5, 10, 15, 20, 30, or 100 people, then in that case, if everybody in your job is applying for life insurance, then that risk gets to be, divided out amongst all its participants. So the risk is spread. So when you spread the risk amongst a large group of people, it does make insurance much more affordable because you're spreading the risk. Whereas if you try to get something by yourself, it's going to be more expensive. That's why people try to get life insurance through work. Although there's drawbacks, but that's something we'll have another conversation another time. So with that being said, what President Obama did was like, you know what? The only way that we can try to make health insurance affordable for everyone is that if we force everybody to buy insurance. If you already have insurance, that's great. But if you don't have it, then either you have to get it or you'll be taxed. So that was the premise. And like I said, the reason for that was to distribute the risk. And if you distribute the risk, you make it more affordable. Obviously, many these governors were very upset, saying what kind of country are we living in where the government cannot force you to buy insurance. That's wrong. So guess what? This battle went to the courts, and basically it went to the Supreme Court. And what's funny was that when the court matter was taking place, this was taking place during the 2012 presidential election. As a matter of fact, I'll be the first to honestly admit that when this was in the Supreme Court, I figured that because there are 5 conservative judges and 4 liberal judges, I would have figured, you know what? I'm sure they're going to strike down Obamacare. But guess what? Surprise, surprise. Despite having a conservative majority, they actually voted in favor of the Affordable Care Act, or Obamacare. And the reason they did that is because they cited that the Congress's main power is the power to tax. If you look at your 17 powers of Congress, you're going to realize that the very first power is to power to tax. And that's how it was able to pass muster and thus pass the Supreme Court decision. So I pretty much just gave you the answer to that question. Of course, I expect you to do some research and write about it, but I just gave you the answer, hint, hint, as to why and how Obamacare passed through the Supreme Court. So I hope you enjoyed that answer. Any questions or concerns in regards to my quick historical answer as to your second question about Obamacare? Any questions or concerns? You can send me a chat or a question, or you can send me a text or an email, but I pretty much gave you the answer for question 2. All right. All right. Everything clear. Awesome. All right. So those are the 17 powers of Congress. Now, one thing that you want to allude to as far as the 17 powers of Congress, there's quite a few of them: declaring war, raising money for the military, post offices and post roads. The very last power, if any of you have your notes in front of you, all that jargon, all that verbiage, what that really means is what is also known as the elastic clause. And let me explain what the elastic clause is. But of course, I expect you to write it down, but at least I can give you verbatim, so this can help you with your response. As far as the elastic clause, what that means is the following. Think about this. The U.S. Constitution has been in existence for what, 240 something years? I'm not good at math, but the Constitution went into effect in 1789. Okay, so think about it. It's been maybe 240 years, I would say, whatever it is. If somebody can do the math, whatever. But the point, what the elastic clause does is that, you know, there are time changes and period in our history where we may believe something one way, but then years later, because of cultural shifts, technology, or what have you, things change. So, for example, I'm going to give you my own personal example. As you all know, I'm 49 years of age. God willing, if let me knock on wood. If everything goes well through this pandemic, I'll make it to next year to my 50th birthday. But when I was growing up as a teenager in the early 80s, for example, if there was if let's say, for example, there was I was always been into music. So let's say, as a 13-year-old, if I really wanted to get a song, remember this was in the early 80s. So back in the early 80s, obviously I didn't have a job or anything. I was only 12, 13 years old. But what would I do? I would get a blank cassette tape, put it on a boombox, and listen to the radio. And I'll just be standing by the radio, pressing record and play, just waiting. And as soon as a song would come on, I would just press record and play, and I can record the song that I like. And that would be the way that I would, quote unquote, download my song for free. Of course, it would be frustrating when I would be waiting for record and play, and as soon as my song would come out, all of a sudden the DJ would be like, "Yes, this is Power 96 live," and I'm like, "Oh, he's already talking about over the song," so it would suck. So I would have to delete that, or unless somebody else had another tape, and if I were to meet someone who had a boombox with 2 cassette tapes, you could always transfer the music from one cassette to another cassette. So that would be our downloading back in the day. Of course, if you really wanted to get music back in the day, you were obligated, obviously, to go to a record store and buy an album or buy a single or what have you. That's how it was back in the day. But of course, all of a sudden, that began to change in the mid-90s. Obviously, when the internet began to explode, and then all of a sudden, when Napster and other streaming services started becoming to the scene, all of a sudden, what folks started doing is like, hey, I don't have to go to a record store anymore. I can just go to my computer, and as long as I have a good hard drive, I can just start downloading all these songs for free, and I don't have to buy music anymore. So, of course, that's what people began doing. And before you know it, a lot of musical artists, from Madonna to Metallica and others, they started complaining and started going to court saying, hey, look, people are stealing our music, we're losing our money, or what have you. So obviously there was all these new technological shifts that were going on that obviously there were no laws or anything regarding them because they hadn't existed anymore. So obviously once all of a sudden this new technology came on, all this and all this debate started going on, then obviously Congress had to step in and set up new piracy laws insofar as downloading content is concerned. So this is what I mean. In other words, what the elastic clause does is that it gives a flexibility whereby you can establish a certain law or have certain things in place, but if there's ever any cultural shifts over time, technological shifts, or anything that happens, that then all of a sudden that law that may have been good like 20, 30 years ago nowadays is no longer the case, then obviously through the elastic clause, or that 17th power of Congress, it does give that flexibility for Congress to then amend or to change laws as time goes on. As a matter of fact, let me ask you all this question, and maybe one of you can answer in the chat. Give me an example of an amendment that was passed, and then hint, hint, 13 years later, another amendment was put in place to reverse that amendment. What am I talking about? Let me see if someone can provide me an answer with the chat. Let's see. There you go. Excellent. Good job. I'm already getting an answer. All right. Yeah. Anyone else? 21st? Prohibition, right. Prohibition. So in other words, you had the 18th Amendment passed in 1919, went into effect in 1920. Prohibition, it was the law of the land for 13 years. And then the government, all of a sudden we're like, you know what? This is not working. Let's put another amendment to overturn that amendment. And obviously that's when you had the 21st Amendment. So great answer, guys. As a matter of fact, by having this explanation, now you can understand why, for example, here's a perfect example. For gun rights enthusiasts, the National Rifle Association, or also known as the NRA, the reason why they are so steadfast in their belief of the Second Amendment is because guess what? Just by you knowing this about the elastic clause goes to show you that nothing is ever set in stone. As a matter of fact, it could always be overturned. You can have a 28th Amendment overturning the Second Amendment. You can have another amendment turning another amendment. That can actually take place. Things change. Nothing is ever set in stone. So if you think about that, now you can understand why the National Rifle Association will never just rest on its laurels, and instead they will keep fighting hard, because they know, guess what? Things can change. There could be limitations. There could be this. There could be that. So you could see why no one's going to rest on their laurels, especially the NRA, and they're going to continue fighting for the Second Amendment. And if you understand the elastic clause and given the history of what we just discussed in the last few minutes, now you can understand how and why they are as adamant as they are about their right to bear arms. Any questions or concerns thus far? Any questions? I think I have more people joining in the chat right now. Thank you. Welcome. Once again, I'm glad to see you all again. It's an honor to see you all. I'm glad that you're all safe. I did, once again, for those of you who just joined in, I did provide you with the third final project yesterday. I sent it to you to email through Blackboard. Also, the second papers are due today. Please email them to me. I'll admit, between you and I don't know how you all feel, but I'm going to be forthright about this. I don't know if I should declare this on video, but I'm not too crazy about Blackboard. It's a bit antiquated. It's like one of those old message boards from the early 90s, early 2000s. I don't know. It's whatever. I think, and I hope that we've been doing fine with email. I think I've been very prompt about that. I hope that you like that I provide you with an email response as far as your grade and how you're doing overall. So that's what we're going to continue doing. Of course, if you have any issues, please let me know. I can't disseminate what's going on with you all unless you all let me know. So please let me know. All right. Let's see if there's any questions or concerns. Oh, and just in case, for those of you who just joined in late, once again, the third exam is due Monday, April 20th. Yes, 420, I know. But of course, you can certainly email it as soon as you're done. You don't have to wait to the April 20th. If you want to turn it in sooner, by all means. I'm figuring that I'm sure that you have other classes that you're doing online and crazy stuff you're going through, and I certainly don't want to add to your stress. I hope you've enjoyed this course thus far. What I do miss is having that one-on-one interaction with the entire class and having debate and all that. So I miss you guys as far as that is concerned. And let me see. I'm just looking through my questions. Okay, so email. So everybody's good with emails. I don't think we've had any concern. I think I've been in touch with every one of you as far as email. Just in case, once again, if you need to send me a text or if you need to call me, because I know that obviously we don't meet with each other. Once again, my cell phone is 786-252-7831. Repeat, 786-252-7831. All right. That's pretty much it. I wanted to keep it short and simple only because this is my first time doing this. I hope you've enjoyed this this brief class session. What I will definitely do is that next week we're going to continue with the Supreme Court. We're going to start discussing the Supreme Court, and we're also going to begin to have a discussion on American foreign policy. But that's pretty much it. I don't want to do anything further. Anything else? Any further questions? Any concerns? Just wanted to keep a short and simple class today. Just wanted to say hello, say that I'm here. Anything else? Just wondering. All right. And 4 questions is fine, I guess. All right. 4 questions for the final. Email's great. Email's great. Let me just put on here. Anything else? Any questions? This was good. See you next week. Thank you for doing this. I found it helpful. Okay. Yes. All right. Awesome. No. I mean, definitely we'll be doing this again. I'll be live streaming again. I'll admit, I'm going to be the first to admit that I wasn't fully prepared. I didn't have all my stuff with me. But I do think that it was beneficial that at least I gave you the hints on how to answer already 2 of the 4 questions. Actually, 3 of the 4 questions I already gave you. All right, awesome. All right, guys. If nothing furthermore, peace. Thank you, and I'll see you all next week. And of course, if you have any questions, email me, send me a text, call me. It's all good. All right. Thank you all. Godspeed, and please be safe, and please stay indoors. Please. All right. Thank you. Much obliged. Have a good one. Thank you all. Bye-bye. Stay safe, everyone. Just want you making sure. No more responses. All right. Bye, guys. Take you. Stay home, everyone. Thank you. Likewise. Thank you. Making sure. All right. Thank you all. Have a good night. Thank you. Bye.